Hello guys, today's video we're gonna talk about the chapter 11 activities. So activity part 1, security threats and vulnerabilities. Instruction for these are the security threats and vulnerability scenarios. Drag each scenario to its corresponding type of security threats. So number 1 in this security threats is the choices are: number 1, information theft; number 2, identity theft; number 3, data loss or data manipulation; number 4 is disruption of services. So number 1 is sending a virus to reformat a hard drive. This one is a data manipulation, because sending a virus to reformat a hard drive is a data loss example. So next one is altering data records, which is also a data loss or manipulation, because this one is an example of data manipulation. So number 2 is the next one is the prevent legal users from accessing data services. This one is disruption of services, because you're disrupting the flow of service. Next one is the stealing scientific research reports. This one is the information theft, because stealing the information is an information theft. Next one is stealing a company's user database, also a information theft. Next one is the overloading a network to keep users out, a disruption of services, because you're keeping out the service because you're overloading the network. And the last two is making illegal online purchase, identity theft, and also the impersonating someone to obtain credit. It's also a identity theft, because you're impersonating the identity of someone to obtain credit. Checking it's all correct. Let's move to the next one. So activity part 2, the security threats and vulnerabilities. Instruction: read the security management practices. Drag its management practice to the appropriate security management type. So number 1 in this is the choices are in hardware, environmental, electrical, and maintenance. Number 1 is label, in critical enables and components. Label, which is a maintenance. Also the control temperature and humidity. It's also it is the environmental, because it is for the in temperature and also humidity. Next one is the control access to console port. It's a maintenance for the console ports. Use security cameras. So it's for hardware, because you use security cameras. Next one is the create positive airflow. Is for environmental, because of the airflow. Next one is the install redundant power supplies. Is for electrical. Next one is install UPS system. Is for electrical. And the last one is lock up device, prevent unauthorized access. Is for hardware. So activity: types of attack. Instruction: determine the types of security attacks described. Drag each security attack type to its scenario. So attack type, you need to drag one of these into this. So let's read the scenario. Security attack scenario. Number 1 is a computer is used as a print server for ACME Incorporation. The IT staff failed to apply security updates to its computer for over 60 days. Now the print server is operating slowly and sending a high amount of malicious packets to its NIC. This type of attack is a worm attack. Worm attack or worm virus. Next one is a Sharon, an IT intern at ACME Incorporated noticed some strange packets while revising the security logs generated by the firewall. A handful of IP addresses on the internet were sending malformed packets to several different IP addresses at several different random ports numbers inside ACME Incorporation. This type of attack is reconnaissance. Let's check it. It's correct. Let's move on to the next figure. Figure number 2. The instructions still the same. So let's read the security attack scenario. Jeremiah was browsing on the internet for his proposal computer while random website offered a free program to clean his system. After downloading the running and executable, the operating system crashed. Crucial operating system related files had been corrupted and Jeremiah's computer required a full disk format and operating system reinstallation. This attack type is also a virus. Ariana found a flash drive laying on the pavement of the mall parking lot. She asked around but couldn't find the owner. She decided to keep it and plug it into her laptop, only find the photo folder. Feeling curious, Ariana opened a few photos before formatting the flash drive for her own use. Afterwards, Ariana noticed that her laptop camera was active. This one is a Trojan horse. Let's move on to the next figure, the last figure for the second activity. Angela, an IT staff member of AC Acme Incorporated, noticed that communication with the company web server is very slow. After investigating, she determined that the cause of the slow response is due to computer on the internet sending is a very large amount of malformed web requests to Acme web server. This is a denial of service or DOS. The last scenario is George needed to share a video with a coworker. Because of a large size of the video file, he decided to run a simple FTP server on his workstation to serve the video file to his coworker. To make things easier, George created an account with a sample password file, then provided it to his coworker on Friday. Without the proper security measures or a strong password, the IT staff wasn't surprised to learn on Monday that George's workstation has been compromised and was trying to upload work-related documents to the internet. This one is access. So next one is the activity show commands. Instruction: read the show command scenarios. Drag a show command to the text field in a appropriate scenario. The checks are show version, show startup config, show IP protocol, show IP route, show IP route rather, show IP int brief. So, you suspect there is a problem with the current switch configuration. You want to see saved configuration so that you can compare it to what is currently running. So this one is show start.config. You're on a call time with the Cisco Technical Assistance personnel. They ask you for a switch IOS name, RAM and VRAM, and a flash drive. They also ask for a hexadecimal boot location. This one is a show version. Show version. You are running an AGRP routing protocol and need to know the update intervals and what active interfaces on the network are being advertised by your router. So this one is a show IP route. You cannot get to the internet. You need to find out if the router has a path to the internet and which protocol is being used to provide the paths. Show IP protocols. Your network documentation really needs to be updated. A quick list of IP addresses of your router in relation of a MAC address would help finish tasks for recording purposes. Sure. And the last one is switch. Switch is the closest intermediate device to you. It has 24 ports. You want to see a simple list of portions to be used. Their use status in the VLAN IP address in the switch. This one is a show IP. So Let's go for the last chapter for the last activity for chapter 11, activity order troubleshooting steps. So we need to determine which is the step 1 to 6 in this description. Let's first find the step 1 and read all the description. Establish a theory for probable cause, establish a plan for action and solve the problem, implement the solution, document findings, actions, and outcomes, identify the program. So identify the programs is step 1. Test the theory to determine cause, verify full system functionality, and implement preventive measures. Our step 2 for this is, our step 1 is identify the program. So number 2 is you need to establish a theory for you to know the probable cause of the problem. That's the step 2. Step 3 is to tell the theory to determine the cause. Test the theory. Test your come-up theory of the probable cause to determine what is the cause really is. Step 4 is to establish a plan action to resolve the problem and implement the solution. Once the test of the theory is successful, you need to establish the plan for you to take action and resolve the problem and implement the solution. Step 5 for this is to verify the full system functionality, implement preventive measures. Once you establish the plan, you need to have a preventive measures for coming future. Step 6 is document finding, actions, and outcomes. So let's check it. It's all correct. Thank you very much. Thank you.